Most people think power is loud. They think it's the person with the biggest voice, the sharpest comeback, the most confident posture. They're wrong. Power is quiet. Power is the person who can sit in silence while everyone else panics. Power is the person who watches instead of reacts. And power starts with one simple thing that almost no one understands. Your brain cannot tolerate an open loop. Let me explain what that means. Back in 1927, a psychologist named Bloomer Zeigarnik noticed something strange about waiters. They could remember complicated orders perfectly while the food was being prepared, but the moment the food was delivered, they forgot everything. The orders vanished from their memory like they had never existed. Zeigarnik discovered that the human brain treats unfinished tasks as open loops that must be closed. The brain holds on to incomplete information with an almost painful grip. It creates tension, anxiety, discomfort, and the only way to release that tension is to close the loop. Here's why this matters for you. Every conversation you have is full of open loops. A question you haven't answered, a silence that stretches too long, a statement that hangs in the air without response. Each one of those is a loop that someone's brain is desperate to close. Most people rush to close loops for other people. Someone asks a question, you answer immediately. Someone pauses, you fill the silence. Someone makes a vague statement, you ask for clarification. You think you're being helpful or polite. What you're actually doing is handing them control, because the person who closes the loop is serving the person who opened it. Think about that for a second. When someone asks you a question, they've opened a loop in your brain. Your brain wants closure, so you answer. You've just done what they wanted. You've given them information. You've revealed your position. You've reacted. The prepared observer does something different. They let the loop stay open. They create a small gap, a pause, a withheld reaction, an ambiguous statement that doesn't resolve anything, and then they wait. The other person's brain cannot tolerate the uncertainty. Their dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, the same region that registers physical pain, starts firing. They feel an urgent, almost physical craving for closure, so they fill the void. They ask the first question. They offer the first piece of personal information. They reveal their position before you've said 10 words. That single move tells you everything you need to know about who holds the frame. I want you to notice something. Most people chase eye contact. They chase approval. They chase validation. They fill every silence with words because the silence feels like rejection. The prepared observer does none of that. They create deliberate voids and they wait. And the other person always breaks first. Always. This isn't manipulation. This is neuroscience. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let me show you where this shows up in real life. At work, your manager asks, "Do you have any concerns about the deadline?" Most people immediately list their concerns. They think they're being transparent. What they're actually doing is giving their manager ammunition. Now the manager knows exactly where you're vulnerable, and they didn't have to work for that information. Instead, pause for 3 full seconds. Look at them like you're considering something important. They will almost always fill the silence. They'll say something like, "I'm mostly worried about the QA phase." Now they've told you their concern. You can respond to that instead of exposing your own. On a date, they ask, "What are you looking for?" That's a massive open loop. Most people rush to answer because they want to seem clear and honest. But answering first gives the other person everything they need to perform the role you want. Instead, smile and say, "That's an interesting question." Then wait. They'll start qualifying themselves. They'll tell you what they think you want to hear, and you'll learn more from that than from any answer you could have given. With friends, when someone makes a passive-aggressive comment, your instinct is to defend yourself. That closes their loop. They wanted a reaction, you gave it. Instead, look at them and say nothing for 4 seconds. Watch them backpedal or double down. Either way, you now know their intent. The body never lies while the loop is open. While the other person's brain is scrambling for closure, their body starts leaking information. You just have to know where to look. Watch for a finger or hand touching the neck, face, or mouth while someone is speaking. That's not a habit. The nervous system under internal conflict seeks physical relief. One touch could be nothing. 3 touches within 30 seconds while they're making a claim means that claim is performance. Watch their blinking. In normal conversation, people blink about 15 to 20 times per minute. When someone is working hard to maintain a story, their blinking drops below 10 times per minute. The brain needs visual focus to keep the performance intact, and when the pressure releases, you'll see a rapid burst of blinking. That burst is the crack in the armor. Watch their feet. Evolution wired the lower body for escape. So when someone's feet point toward the exit while their torso faces you, they want to leave. When they freeze their feet completely while smiling, they're containing anxiety. When you ask an unexpected question and their foot reorients before they answer, the cognitive load just spiked. You don't need to be a psychologist to see these signals. You just need to stop looking at people's mouths. Their words are the least reliable channel. Here's what you actually do starting tomorrow. Action 1. In your next conversation, count to 4 before responding to any question. Just 4 seconds. It will feel like an eternity. Notice who speaks first. That person just ceded control. Action 2. When someone asks a personal question, say, "Why do you ask?" and then stop talking. Their answer will tell you their agenda. Most people have never been asked this. They'll stumble. They'll reveal more than they intended. Action 3. Text one word back to the next long message you receive. Okay. Sure. Interesting. Watch how fast they send a follow-up. That's the open loop pulling on them. They can't stand it. Here's what most dark psychology content won't tell you. You don't need to manipulate anyone. You don't need to become cold or calculating. You just need to stop closing other people's open loops for them. That's it. The person who needs the least from the interaction controls it. Not because they're ruthless, because they're not thirsty. The person who speaks first loses. The person who fills the silence cedes control. The person who answers the question reveals their position, and the person who can sit in the void while everyone else panics becomes the one everyone orbits around without knowing why. Start there. The rest is just practice. But here's the deeper truth. Most people will never do this. The discomfort of silence is too intense. The urge to explain is too strong. The need for approval is too deep. They will keep filling voids, keep closing loops, keep handing over control. And they will never understand why they always feel like they're reacting instead of acting. You can be different, not by learning 100 tricks, by learning one thing. Silence is not empty. Silence is a weapon. And the person who wields it never has to raise their voice. The next time you feel the urge to explain, to justify, to fill the void, stop. Ask yourself, am I doing this for them or for my own discomfort? Most of the time, it's your discomfort. And your discomfort is not their problem. Let the silence stretch. Let them speak first. Watch what happens. You already know what will happen. They'll crack. They always do. Now close your eyes for a second and imagine your last conversation where you felt controlled. Imagine what would have happened if you had said nothing for 4 seconds. Imagine the power shift. That version of you exists. You just have to let them out. And when you do, every conversation becomes a game you're not even playing. Because you're not reacting anymore, you're observing, and the observer always wins.